Childhood motor development is one of the most foundational development outcomes that needs to be put in place for optimal learning at school. Join us as we explore motor development in terms of its different facets. Motor development refers to the development of a child's bones, muscles, and ability to move around and manipulate his or her environment. We visited some occupational therapists to gain a more in-depth understanding of some of the aspects of children's motor movements.
I'm Marilise Botha and I'm an occupational therapist. We specialize in pediatrics. Parents often come to us with issues of fine motor and gross motor development. In a society we live in, we want our children to develop cognitively and achieve high levels of functioning to be successful as adults. But in the process, we forget that development is a series of things that has to happen in a certain order to be optimal. Therefore, it's of utmost importance that a good foundation in gross motor and fine motor skills is there. Foundation. It is important to have a good sensory integration foundation to be able to access the other skills for development.
In the developmental hierarchy, there should be a foundation of sensory integration to enable optimal motor development. Sensory integration refers to a person's readiness to interact with the environment in order to be able to learn new skills. If sensory integration skills are in place, a child has the solid foundation onto which further development like gross and fine motor movements could be built. We can divide gross motor development into the following areas.
Control of basic actions, postural control and stability, postural planning and integrated movements.
Control of basic actions is when the child learns to gain more control over movements from birth onwards. As our bodies mature and learn how to regulate actions, movements become smoother and balance and muscle tone can develop. Postural control and stability. This refers to stable and controlled movements supported by core muscles. This enables proximal stability, which means the bigger joints such as shoulders and hips can keep your body stable in order for the limbs to move and reach out. Postural planning refers to the child's ability to do actions in a certain order or sequence within an expected time frame. Integrated movements is the next step. Children can participate spontaneously in activities which require a combination of skills, and they are even willing to explore new activities. Optimal gross motor development lays the foundation for fine motoric development. Even though these skills develop in tandem, well-developed gross motor skills ameliorate appropriate fine motor development. We can divide fine motor development into the following areas:
grip and manipulation, precise movement and eye-hand coordination.
Grip and manipulation. In fine motor activities, we expect a certain pencil grip, scissor grip, and hand manipulation to perform tasks in life and in learning activities.
Pencil grip. A tripod pencil grip is necessary to enable small movements of the fingers while the arm and wrist is maintaining the position. Scissor grip. A grip where the index finger is outside the scissor on the shaft of the scissor to maintain stability and guide direction is optimal. Cutting is a bilateral activity and it is important that the other hand is always involved.
Precise movement is when it is expected of a child to perform actions such as copying, coloring, threading, and cutting.
Copying. Often children realize that their copied figures, pictures or shapes are not a true reflection of the examples, but because of underdeveloped hand-eye coordination, they are simply not able to correct it. Coloring. Coloring involves staying inside the outlines of the shape and also coloring with left to right actions. Threading exercises require sorting, arranging and manipulation processes that keep a child engrossed for a long time. Cutting according to age norms. This involves cutting around complex corners, and the directionality in which the child cuts is very important, such as when cutting a circle.
Eye-hand coordination refers to the child's ability to see how to refine the movement even more. Tasks included here are cutting exactly on the line, writing on the line with letters being the same size, and fitting small objects into a certain space. Optimal motor development has an influence on the child's readiness to learn in a more formal classroom environment. Sitting posture. With underdeveloped core muscles and poor postural control, The child will struggle to sit up straight in his chair and will tire faster. Willingness to participate. If motor development lags behind, children might be more reluctant to try new activities as motoric movements do not support trying out the unknown. Attention and focus is supported by optimal motor movement. This is why motor coordination problems are common in children with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. A child needs to be able to maintain a good posture to be able to focus. Optimal motor functioning also supports a child's endurance in classwork and getting through the school day. With weaker fine motor skills, inaccuracy in classroom work is usually observed. Children are also less likely to be motivated to complete complex tasks. You'll find a demonstration video of the assessment on the website. For more information on this and many other topics on child development, visit the University of Johannesburg's Knowledge for Action website.